Fugaku is somewhat unconventional in that for its massive leap as compared to its predecessor machines like K-Computer, it has yielded immediate results that are significant to the advancement of the society and to satisfy goals such as Sustainability Development Goals, SDGs. Some of the exemplars are very detailed simulations of aerosols and droplets and how they propagate through the air when someone, say, would be coughing with a COVID-19 virus. By being able to do a very detailed modeling of the surrounding environments by using our latest methods and be able to do quickly simulations in very rapid successions to model the physical phenomena as digital twins, covering hundreds to thousands of cases. We have been able to determine how these aerosols would be spread, but also be able to predict what kind of countermeasures would be very effective in order to curtail the possibility of transmissions. And this has really resulted in lowering the number of transmission cases in Japan, especially when we didn't have vaccines, and thus curtailing the transmissions was a very important prerogative for society. Another example is prediction of torrential rainfalls, which is a very difficult problem because of the chaotic nature of the perturbation of the atmosphere, and must be done also in real time in order to be able to provide very accurate forecasts before any damages are done. So working with the Japanese Weather Bureau and other partners, we've been able to model these phenomena to unprecedented detail and also develop systems that would allow for the sensor information to be synergized with computation or data simulation, they call in atmospheric science, to be able to refine the forecasts and deliver these forecasts in real time to your smartphones such that you can get very accurate renditions of the weather pattern 30 minutes in advance in very high resolution so that you can not only run for cover, but also the society can prepare itself if any adverse weather condition happens. So in this manner, Fugaku is providing revolutionary results, and more results will continue. Well, Japanese supercomputers have traditionally been designed to be more or less an ephemeral resource for computing. That is, you have some computing task and you would just throw the job at the supercomputer as if it were just a calculator. But increasingly, this is not proving not to be enough. Rather, computing really needs to be an infrastructure. And Fugaku has been designed as such to become a societal infrastructure to solve the most daunting problems facing the society today. And for this purpose, we really needed Fugaku not only to have very high compute and data movement efficiency, which is of course what supercomputers are supposed to be, but also extremely easy to use and also have strong continuity to the other IT infrastructures that are prominent in the society today, such as the cloud infrastructure, the internet, or the edge devices, your smartphones, sensors, etc. So Fugaku has been designed to be able to connect to these infrastructures, run the same software, and also for the programmers to be able to program the entire system such that all of these services available in the greater IT infrastructure can be utilized for problem solving that would include Fugaku and not just solely rely on Fugaku. In this modern day when you can have your credit card and just sign up to a cloud infrastructure to get some tangible resource for your task. Similar ease of use must be realized on infrastructure like Fugaku. So we have really souped up the usage scenarios such that users with immediate needs can use Fugaku on a very immediate basis for a very lightweight submission procedure. There are pay-per-use type of usage scenarios that's also facilitated by the Fugaku program. And also, the Fugaku users not only cover the Japanese researchers, but industry, and also our foreign partners abroad. So anybody in the world who has a good use, who has a good reason to use Fugaku, can apply for usage on Fugaku and get tangible resource to solve the world's societal problems. Well, Fugaku is an alternative name for Mount Fuji. And Mount Fuji, as we know, is symbolic in that it's the highest mountain in Japan, but also has a very broad base. And it's the ideal statue for a supercomputer that not only has high performance, but also very broad in the coverage of users, applications, usage scenarios, etc. Moreover, if you have ever climbed Mount Fuji, you find that it's a very easy mountain to climb despite its very high altitude. And that's because there are roads and also mountain paths and trails that are very well conditioned in order for even 70-year-old, 80-year-old person to be able to climb to the top. Or even beginners, for the first time climbing high mountains, can make it to the top. In a similar manner, Fugaku has been facilitated in various ways in its ease of use, such that it's a very easy mountain to climb, even if you start out as a beginner. The more people that will be climbing the mountain, achieving the top, there'll be more innovations. So we aspire to make Fugaku not only the highest and the fastest and the best supercomputer in the world, but also the easiest supercomputer to use in the world. Well, first of all, Fugaku is alive and well today, and it's under constant improvement. Less so in the hardware, but more so in the system software, such as compilers, libraries, various applications, the usage scenarios, support, everything. So Fugaku is still a very much an evolving and improving platform. Well, that said, the effectiveness of a supercomputer is time limited. And obviously, we've been at hard work in order to capture what's been done right for Fugaku. What are the things we could have done better with Fugaku and other supercomputers we know? Predict the future in terms of various developments, such as semiconductor developments, and predict, study, and design the machine that would be the most formidable, let's say, in the early 2030s or late 2020s. So we're in the process of doing that right now as a research center, as the National Research Center for Supercomputing. And we've just been awarded a program from our ministry to do preliminary investigation as to what would be the ideal supercomputer around that time frame. So we're very hard at work trying to investigate such a machine, what it would look like. Well, what's down the road 10 years, 20 years from now? Well, if I had a crystal ball, then I could probably tell you that. But if I had a crystal ball, my career will not be very interesting. So my career has been very interesting because the future, although we can get a vague perspective of what's going to happen, and it's our job trying to design the best machines moving forward, the future is always unpredictable. Who would have predicted the arrival of the internet? Or that everybody will be carrying around smartphones and playing games at every corner of the society, for example. So advances in IT has always been associated with the quantitative speed up, resulting in qualitative changes in the way we employ or utilize these resources to do something innovative, which was totally unpredicted. And such is IT by nature. So although we can predict how fast the machines may be 10 years, 20 years from now, it's very hard to predict what are the qualitative changes that would result from this massive scaling of the speed, the size, the capacity, etc. of the infrastructure. But that's what makes our lives exciting, and that's why I will probably not retire very soon. My best advice is to, well, there are several advices, but one is to try to learn the other disciplines, not just be stuck in IT. Because any IT, especially supercomputers, is, on one hand, you want to innovate in terms of the IT itself, but also IT is the tool, and you want to bring forth various innovations as a result of using IT. But you don't know what these innovations may be unless you have knowledge of other fields. So it's very important to not only indulge yourself in studying IT itself, but also study what are the other difficult problems that are facing other branches of science and engineering. The other important thing is still learn at depth what your discipline is, especially who's your hero. So when you have a discipline like physics, typically people have their heroes. Maybe Einstein, could be Feynman, etc. And you know what they have done. You aspire to become like them. And of course, you want to investigate the field, compare it to the researchers that you idealize. I typically find that in IT, the young people starting out do not have their heroes or have very deep knowledge of what these people who have been awarded, like the Turing Award, what they have done. So it's really important to study history of our own discipline, to know what's been done, what are the new problems that may be facing us, and how they achieve the results. So these are some of the advices I can give to people. Study your own discipline, but also study the discipline of others, because there's always infinite things to learn.